Have you ever gazed at the stars and wondered, what if time held no power over you? What if you could live forever? Have you ever gazed at the stars and wondered, what if time held no power over you? What if you could live forever? This isn't just a question for late-night thoughts. It's a dream humanity has chased since the dawn of civilization. From the mythical fountain of youth to the elixirs of ancient alchemists, the quest for immortality is woven into our oldest stories. The Egyptian pharaohs built pyramids to secure their eternal afterlife, and countless legends tell of heroes who sought to conquer death itself. This yearning to live forever is a fundamental part of who we are. But what if this ancient dream is no longer just a fantasy? Welcome to the 21st century, where science is starting to turn fiction into fact. Researchers are unlocking the secrets of our own biology, a complex code written in our DNA. They're studying the processes of aging, not as an inevitable fate, but as a condition that might one day be treated. We're learning about telomeres, the protective caps on our chromosomes that shorten as we age. Can we stop them from shortening, or even reverse the process? And it doesn't stop there. The field of transhumanism envisions a future where technology merges with our bodies, enhancing our abilities and extending our lives far beyond their natural limits. Imagine nanobots coursing through your veins, repairing cells from the inside out. Or the ability to upload your consciousness to a digital realm, freeing your mind from the frailties of a physical body. We're talking about gene editing with tools like CRISPR, which could one day eliminate age-related diseases before they even start. The science is young, but the possibilities are staggering. We are standing on the precipice of a revolution that could redefine what it means to be human. So let's say we do it. We crack the code. We achieve immortality. Humanity throws the biggest party in history, right? We've defeated our final enemy, death. But what happens the day after the party? What does a world without end actually look like? This is where the dream begins to get a little darker, a little more complicated. Think about it. Our entire society is built around a finite lifespan. We go to school, build careers, start families, and pass on our knowledge to the next generation. What happens to these life stages when there's no finish line? Would you still strive to achieve your goals if you had 1,000 years to do it? Or 1,000,000? The urgency that drives so much of our creativity and ambition might simply evaporate. The very concept of making your mark on the world loses its meaning when you and the world are both, for all intents and purposes, permanent. Would progress stagnate, trapped in the endless loop of yesterday's ideas, held by people who never leave? Or would we evolve into beings of unimaginable wisdom, with lifetimes to master every art and science? And what about our planet? Earth's resources are already stretched thin with 8 billion people. What happens when that number not only grows but never shrinks? When no one ever leaves to make room for the new? We would face an overpopulation crisis on a scale that's almost impossible to comprehend. Would we have to stop having children altogether, freezing humanity at a single generation? The ethical dilemmas are immense. Who gets to be immortal? Only the rich and powerful who can afford the treatment? This could create a new, permanent class divide, the mortals and the immortals. A world where some are destined to die while others live forever. The potential for conflict, for resentment, for a dystopian future is terrifyingly real. Then there's the personal cost, the psychological burden of forever. Think about love. The beauty of love is often found in its preciousness, in the shared, finite time you have with someone. How would your heart handle watching everyone you ever loved who wasn't immortal grow old and die, over and over again? Century after century, you'd become a living monument of grief, a ghost walking through a world that constantly changes while you remain the same. Friendships, family ties, the very connections that give our lives meaning, all would be subject to the erosion of infinite time. Could your mind even handle eternity? Our memories are not perfect recordings. They fade, they warp, they get overwritten. After 1,000 years, would you even remember your own childhood? After 1,000,000, would you remember the person you were? You might become a stranger to yourself, an endless collection of experiences with no coherent identity. The weight of infinite memory could become an unbearable torment, a mental prison from which there is no escape. Boredom, not as a fleeting feeling but as a permanent state of existence, could become the ultimate torture. When you've seen everything, done everything, and felt everything, what's left? Science fiction has explored these questions for decades, painting pictures that are both exhilarating and horrifying. We see godlike beings who have lost all touch with their humanity and tortured souls who beg for the release of death. These stories serve as cautionary tales, mirrors held up to our own ambitions. They force us to ask not just can we, but should we? The pursuit of immortality is a journey into the unknown, a path that could lead to a golden age for humanity or a self-inflicted, eternal damnation. So as we stand on the verge of turning this ancient myth into a potential reality, the question we must ask ourselves is not a simple one. It cuts to the very core of our existence. Is the defeat of death the ultimate triumph of the human spirit, our greatest and most noble achievement? Or, in our desperate flight from the natural end of life, are we about to make our greatest and most irreversible mistake? The future is coming, and we need to decide what kind of future we want. Thanks for watching. If this made you think, consider subscribing for more journeys into the questions that define us.